Hello viewers, you are watching the VNA News Agency's daily bulletin, and following are the headlines.
Chairman of the National Assembly VNA visits Vietnamese embassy in the US. Vietnam exports 3 million tons of cassava in 8 months. Hanoi ranked third in FDI attraction.
Chairman of the National Assembly Nguyễn Sinh Hùng visited the Vietnamese embassy after arriving in Washington, D.C. on September 5th morning, local time, as part of his ongoing visit to the United States. The Vietnamese top legislator told the embassy staff that his visit's objective is to further deepen and enrich comprehensive partnership between Vietnam and the United States and enhancing cooperation between the two parliaments in order to meet their people's aspiration. He stated Vietnam's attendance at the 4th World Conference of Speakers of Parliament in New York demonstrated the country's active, responsible, and efficient participation in building and implementing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. He also informed the diplomats of activities carried out by the National Assembly during this tenure, especially the successful organization of the 132nd Inter-Parliamentary Union General Assembly in Hanoi in March. Chairman Hùng applauded efforts made by the embassy staff in deepening bilateral relations between the two nations. Vietnam exported 3 million tons of cassava, worth $950 million in the first 8 months of this year. More details coming up next. This amounts to 26% and 29% year-on-year increases in terms of volume and value, respectively. Statistics from the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development showed that China was still the largest cassava importer, accounting for 89% of the total exports, posting a year-on-year increase of 53% and 46% in volume and value, respectively. However, the volume of exports to Japan and Taiwan grew 10 times and 64 times, respectively, posting the highest level of growth. The average export price of cassava remained about $420 to $430 per ton and was relatively stable. In the future, Vietnam plans to head to the US and the EU. The sector aimed for an export turnover of $2 billion by 2020. Fall in tea exports is putting pressure on the tea industry to enhance product quality amid rapid international integration associated with growing harsh competition. Vietnam was the 5th largest tea exporter in the world after China, India, Kenya, and Sri Lanka. However, tea was mainly exported as the raw product with low export price, equal to about half of the world's average price. Statistics showed that tea exports dropped by 5.6% in volume to 79,000 tons and 4.8% in value to $134 million in the first 8 months of this year, compared to the same period last year. The Ministry of Industry and Trade said quality was currently the greatest problem that the tea industry encountered, which could lead to loss of export markets to competitors. The ministry said, as tea was among the important agricultural exports of Vietnam, attention must be paid to developing tea cultivation, especially improving tea quality and ensuring food hygiene standards. Tea farming methods must be improved to meet hygiene standards for domestic consumption as well as exports, including the planning of tea plantation areas for processing firms. Developing a Vietnamese tea brand, together with organizing trade promotion activities, were also indispensable for boosting tea exports. In addition, the ministry would tighten state management of the use of pesticides and fertilizers, while improving farming techniques for farmers. Notably, the ministry was planning to grant costs to tea plantation areas to trace the origins of tea as part of efforts to professionalize tea production.
Hanoi is one of the 3 leading localities nationwide in attracting foreign direct investment, or FDI, accounting for 17% of the number of projects and 9.3% of the registered investment capital in the country.
The city's economy has recorded stable development and remarkable results since Vietnam joined the World Trade Organization in 2007. Currently, more than 2,000 local enterprises are engaging in import-export activities in over 200 countries and territories. The city's average GRDP growth reached 9.85% during 2007 to 2014. Hanoi's economic structure saw positive changes with the proportion of service and industry construction sectors increased, while that of agriculture sector declined. The municipal authorities have paid special attention to assisting businesses in accessing capital sources while promoting administrative reform, especially in tax procedure, in order to facilitate enterprises' production and business activities. As of June 20th this year, the city was home to 3,206 foreign invested projects capitalized at more than $24 billion.
Vietnam international economic integration has spurred exports and lured more foreign direct investment, boosting the country's economic growth. Vietnamese exports are expected to skyrocket thanks to already signed free trade agreements and other pending deals.
Vietnam plans to bring its annual export growth to 11 to 12% during the 2011 to 2020 period. Specifically, exports are expected to grow 11% between 2016 and 2020. Vietnam joined the Association of Southeast Asian Nations in 1995 and signed a bilateral free trade agreement with the US in 2000. 7 years later, the country became an official member of the World Trade Organization (WTO). To date, Vietnam has sealed 8 bilateral and regional free trade agreements. This year marks another milestone for Vietnam in international economic integration. Of note, Vietnam and the Republic of Korea signed an FTA on May 5th. The trade deal will open up a wide range of opportunities for Vietnamese export staples due to the East Asia countries' commitments.
The free trade agreement is very advantageous for Vietnam, especially its exports. The Republic of Korea is an ideal market for varied Vietnamese commodities. In the past years, trade between the two countries has yet to meet their potential. In my opinion, the pact is a good chance for Vietnam to boost its exports to the East Asian country in the coming time.
Vietnam and the Eurasian Economic Union inked a free trade agreement on May 29th after more than 2 years of negotiations. Once the pact comes into effect, it is expected to lift bilateral trade turnover to 10 to 12 billion US dollars by 2020. Vietnam's export turnover in particular will soar by 18 to 20% per year. In early August, Vietnam and the EU officially announced the conclusion of their negotiations on a bilateral FTA. A recent study pointed out that Vietnam-EU FTA is likely to contribute 0.5% to Vietnam's GDP and at least 4% of its exports. If Vietnam maintains its current growth of export to the EU by 2020, the country will earn an additional 16 billion US dollars thanks to the trade deal.
With a combined population of more than 710 million, the EU, the Republic of Korea, and the Eurasian Economic Union are huge markets for Vietnamese commodities. This is an extremely favorable opportunity for Vietnam to step up its production and fully tap its potential.
Another study showed that once the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement is signed, Vietnam will see the highest income growth rate, around 13.6%, and a maximum export growth at 31.7%.
Vietnam is also one of the main beneficiaries of the TPP agreement in terms of economic growth and export proportion.
In short, Vietnam signed and pending multilateral and bilateral free trade agreements, the forthcoming TPP agreement, and the formation of the ASEAN community at the end of this year will create a springboard for Vietnamese exports.
Vegetarian diet is becoming more and more popular as new ways of healthy eating trends flood the market. Young people are adopting the new diet as well as religious practitioners, hyping up the demand for high quality and diversified vegetarian meals.
Over the last couple of years, vegetarian foods have earned their place in the regular consumer dining experiences thanks to their delicious taste, creative presentation, and diversified ingredients. It is being marketed in large supermarkets and in many convenience stores. During full moon days or special festivals, demand for vegetarian meals seemingly skyrocket, regardless of price hikes.
People always figure out how to add to the meal and make it special, and the price increases is quite little.
Apart from the popular fresh and dry products, a new trend is slowly emerging, creating demand for convenient processed food suitable for low-budget dining that saves preparation time. The Viet Chai restaurant in the precinct of Vĩnh Nghiêm Pagoda serves vegetarian buffets with dozens of colorful and delicious meals, appealing to customers from all walks of life.
During Buddhist festivals, we often come to offer incense at the pagoda and then enjoy a vegetarian meal in the restaurant. It is very delicious and attractive.
These days, a vegetarian meal is not just about religious or spiritual practices, but rather a lifestyle, aiming for a more balanced and healthy diet. However, a good vegetarian meal requires proper research and understanding of the diet in order to prepare delicious and hearty dishes.
The mountainous district of Bắc Trà My in central province of Quảng Nam is well known for its grandeur and untouched landscape, highlighted by the special cultural values of the ethnic minority community. Now, local authorities aim to ignite the tourism potential in these lands.
Currently, Bắc Trà My welcomes a modest 4,300 tourists per year on average, primarily at the Nước Hoa historical relic site. The district also houses primeval forests with a diverse flora system. Moreover, the local community boasts deeply cultural traditions, such as the New Year pole raising ceremony by the Khor people, which was recently acknowledged as National Intangible Cultural Heritage.
Thế mạnh về du lịch văn hóa lịch sử cách mạng.
One of Bắc Trà My's strengths is its revolutionary history. It was once a military operation base, so they are planting up relic sites. The combination of a hydropower plant and nature's biodiversity is a strong attraction as well.
Cũng có một cái ưu thế rất là nổi trội trong phát triển du lịch.
In order to fully tap its potential, Bắc Trà My district recently approved a tourism development project from 2015 to 2020, putting tourism as the district's economic spearhead.
Huyện cần phải có những dự án cụ thể.
The district needs specific projects to attract investment, particularly in infrastructure development and tourism parks.
Những sản phẩm dịch vụ du lịch khác.
All districts create favorable conditions for businesses to take out loans and even support these businesses in repayment. Moreover, we will direct our funding towards infrastructure development in the near future, prioritizing businesses with plans to develop tourism.
Bắc Trà My is one of the many mountainous districts in Quảng Nam province with tremendous strength in tourism, but requires a strong push in the right direction to unveil its beauty to visitors from around the world.
And that's the end of our program. Thank you for joining us and see you next time.